Hello guys, welcome back to another spring episode. From today onwards, I'll be teaching you all how to make servlets and JSPs inside our application. This time, this won't be a spring lesson, but it will be a Java web lesson. So, let's start from the beginning about servlets and JSPs. First thing, let's learn about the servlet lifecycle. A servlet is actually a class. It extends HTTP servlet class and becomes a servlet. That's how a servlet works. In the servlet lifecycle, the first thing is the client or the servlet, and it returns to the web server and the web container as a HTTP request, and our servlet is getting mapped in the web.xml file, and after that the class is loaded, and the next thing, object is made, and then the init servlet config cycle happens. First the init servlet config gets invoked, then the init gets invoked, and after that a new thread is made. And the next thing, it calls the service method, which has the HTTP server request and HTTP server's responses. And after that, according to preference, do get or do post is called. Here also a HTTP server request and HTTP servlet response is passed between do get or do post. And finally, the HTTP servlet HTTP response gets to the client, and that's how the servlet lifecycle works. So the servlet is mapped in the web.xml, and all these things happen inside a servlet when we invoke a servlet. Now let's learn about the JSPs. The JSP lifecycle is this. First thing, the client, the JSP known as a.jsp or anything, sends a HTTP request to the server side. Then the next thing what happens is the a.jsp or any JSP gets translated into a.jsp.java, and after that finally it is made into a class called a.jsp.class. Alright, next thing, the class is loaded and the new a.jsp is made, and then the init servlet config is invoked. After that, the super init server config is invoked, and then the super init is invoked, and then JSP init and underscore JSP inits get invoked as well. And then a new thread is made, and the service of the super service with the server request and servlet response is called, and the next thing, the service method is called with the HTTP server request and HTTP server's response. And finally, the underscore JSP service method is called with the HTTP server request and HTTP server response interfaces. And finally, our HTTP response comes to the client or the a.jsp as an HTTP response. And in the JSP lifecycle, there are three destroy methods: destroy, JSP destroy, and underscore JSP destroy. So in this lifecycle, I've taught you how the HTTP request goes and how it is passed throughout many sessions, and finally that it comes to the underscore JSP service method, and the HTTP response gets back to the client as a response. Alrighty. So in today's lesson, I taught you the life cycle of the servlet and JSPs. Okay. In the next lesson, I'll teach you how to make a servlet and pass data from the servlet to a JSP in Java web. So till then, goodbye guys, and please take care. I'll come back to you with another video another time, and bye.